He didn't want to fight. He didn't believe in killing. He believed in God, peace, and the Bible. But when history called, he picked up a rifle, and walked into the fire. This is the forgotten story of Sergeant Alvin C. York, the reluctant hero of World War I, born in 1887, in the backwoods of Pall Mall, Tennessee. Alvin York was raised in the dirt-poor hills of Appalachia. He was the third of 11 children, in a one-room log cabin without electricity or running water. School ended early. By the age of 9, he was helping feed the family, hunting squirrels and wild game to survive. No formal education. No career dreams. Just survival. In his teenage years, York turned wild. He drank, fought, gambled. He was arrested multiple times for disorderly conduct. Locals said he was dangerous when drunk, a fiery temper and fists to match. But then, tragedy struck. In 1915, one of his closest friends was killed in a drunken brawl. Something broke inside him. That night, York walked into a revival meeting, and never looked back. He gave up alcohol, violence, and gambling. He was baptized in the Church of Christ in Christian Union, a deeply pacifist Christian denomination. He swore to live by the Word of God and never to raise a hand against another soul. Alvin York, the wild mountain brawler, had become a man of peace. Then, in 1917, America entered the Great War. Like thousands of young men, York received his draft notice. But he refused. He filed as a conscientious objector, citing his religious beliefs. But the army didn't accept it. York's claim was denied. He was ordered to report to Camp Gordon, Georgia. At Camp Gordon, York trained with the 82nd Infantry Division, what we now call the All-American Division. He never refused orders, but his heart remained troubled. How could he kill in war, and still be true to his faith? His commanders noticed the conflict. They sat down with him, not to force obedience, but to guide his soul. They spoke of biblical warriors. Of David, of Joshua. Of the idea that some wars, some battles, are just. York was allowed to return home for 10 days to reflect and pray. He walked the hills of Tennessee, Bible in hand, searching for peace. And somewhere, on a mountaintop, he found it. He returned to Camp Gordon and quietly told his commanders, "I'll go. I'll do my duty." York and his unit shipped out to France in 1918. He still didn't like killing, but now he believed he had to protect others. He was promoted to corporal and known for his skill with a rifle. One officer said, he could put 5 shots through a silver dollar at 50 yards. October 8, 1918. York's platoon was sent behind enemy lines during the Meuse-Argonne Offensive, deep in the forest near Châtel-Chihiri. They were tasked with flanking and silencing a nest of German machine gunners. But it went wrong fast. They walked into a trap. Machine gun fire erupted from the ridge. The officers were gunned down. Men fell screaming. With chaos all around, York took control of the survivors, just 8 men. He led them forward under fire and circled behind the German position. Then, he ordered them to hold. Alone, York crept up the ridge. And then, he started shooting. 7 German soldiers charged him with bayonets. York calmly dropped them, one after another. He kept advancing, taking out machine gun nests with precision rifle fire. When one group of Germans surrendered, York covered them while still fighting off others. When it was over, Alvin York and his squad had captured 132 prisoners, neutralized at least 6 machine gun nests, and killed over 20 German soldiers. One man had changed the course of an entire engagement, without backup. For this, York was awarded the Medal of Honor, the French Croix de Guerre, and multiple other decorations. Marshal Foch, Supreme Commander of Allied Forces, called it, the greatest individual feat by any soldier of all the armies of Europe. York returned home a national hero. He met presidents, marched in parades, and became the subject of the 1941 Hollywood film Sergeant York, starring Gary Cooper. But he didn't let the fame go to his head. Instead, he used his fame to help others. He built schools in Appalachia, advocated for rural education, and helped build roads in isolated mountain towns. He even defended Black Americans and fought for veterans' rights in segregated Tennessee. York refused to profit from war. He lived simply and died quietly in 1964. A hero, buried in his hometown, largely forgotten by modern history books. But his legacy lives on in every soldier who serves with honor, even when the burden is heavy. He didn't want to be a warrior. He never wanted to be famous. But when his time came, he stood. He fought. He saved lives. This was Alvin York, the reluctant hero. Help us make sure the world never forgets. Like, share, and subscribe for more stories of the forgotten heroes.